People often say that a person's greatness is shaped by their thoughts, and history has proved this many times. When we look at people like Elon Musk, Steve Jobs, and Jeff Bezos, we see individuals who turned powerful thoughts into powerful lives. Napoleon Hill once wrote in Think and Grow Rich, "What you think about, you become." But if that's true, then why do so many people still struggle to succeed? Why do so many fail to see their own potential even when the truth is right in front of them? Today's story reveals the hidden reason behind this and teaches a simple but life-changing lesson. Stay with me, because the message you're about to hear can genuinely transform the way you see yourself. At a crowded railway station lived a poor beggar. Every day he survived by asking passengers for money as they waited for their trains. It was a tiring routine, but it was the only life he knew. One afternoon, he noticed a sharply dressed businessman stepping onto the platform. His polished shoes, expensive suit, and confident walk made him stand out from everyone else. The beggar thought, "This man must be extremely rich. If I ask him for money, he'll surely give me a generous amount." With hope in his eyes, he approached the businessman and stretched out his hand. Instead of giving him money, the businessman looked at him calmly and asked, "Do you always just take from others? Have you ever given anything to anyone?" The question shocked the beggar. In all his years of begging, no one had ever asked him such a thing. Confused, he replied, "Sir, I'm a beggar. I survive only by asking people for alms. I have nothing to give anyone." The businessman gave a faint smile. "If you believe you have nothing to give," he said, "then you also have no right to ask for anything. I am a businessman. I believe in exchange. If you can offer me something, I can offer you something in return. But if you truly have nothing to give, then I cannot give you anything either." With that, the man boarded his train and disappeared from the platform. The beggar stood frozen, replaying the words in his mind. No one had ever spoken to him like that. The businessman wasn't rude, he had simply spoken the truth. If I can't offer anything in return, then why should anyone give me anything? He wondered. For the first time in his life, he realized that maybe people didn't give him money because he gave them nothing in return. That night, he lay awake thinking about the businessman's words, but every thought led to the same painful conclusion: what can I possibly give? I'm just a beggar. I have nothing. Yet, the question refused to leave him. If you want to receive, you must first give. 2 days passed, and the beggar didn't ask anyone for money. He was too busy thinking, trying to solve a puzzle he had never considered before. On the third day, while sitting alone, his eyes fell on a small patch of wildflowers growing near the tracks. Their bright colors swayed gently in the wind, and suddenly an idea sparked in his mind. What if I don't just take? What if I give something back? What if every time someone gives me money I give them a flower? With determination he hadn't felt in years, he walked over, carefully picked a few flowers, and returned to his usual spot. When a passenger dropped a coin in his bowl, the beggar smiled warmly and offered them a flower in return. To his surprise, people accepted the flowers with genuine happiness. Some even smiled and thanked him. Day after day, he noticed a pattern: when he had flowers, people gave him more money. When he ran out, the donations dropped. So it's true, he thought. People like receiving something in return. Then one morning, as he was handing out flowers, he spotted the same businessman sitting near the train window. Filled with excitement, he walked over and said, "Sir, today I have something to give. If you give me money, I will give you flowers in return." The businessman smiled, handed him some cash, and accepted the flowers. "Now you understand the value of exchange," he said. "Today, you are no longer a beggar. You have become a businessman." As the train rolled away and the businessman disappeared once again, the beggar remained still, staring at the flowers in his hand. A new thought filled his mind: am I really a businessman now? For a long time he stood there silently, thinking deeply. Then suddenly, it struck him. I know the secret of success now. I'm not begging anymore. I'm trading. People aren't giving me money out of pity, they're giving me money for the flowers I offer. I have a business. That day, with his heart full of new confidence, he made the boldest decision of his life. He left the railway station and never returned as a beggar again. 6 months later, at the same station, two well-dressed men met on the platform. As they shook hands, one man gave the other a long look. "Do I know you from somewhere?" he asked. The other smiled and replied, "Yes. We met twice before right here on this train." The first man frowned, trying to remember. And then his eyes widened. "Wait, you're the beggar, the one I refused to give money to and later bought flowers from." The former beggar laughed. "Yes, that was me. But today I'm not a beggar anymore. I own a successful flower business, and I'm traveling to expand it." The businessman stared at him in astonishment. "That's incredible. What change?" The flower seller smiled gently. "You taught me a powerful truth: we only receive when we first learn to give." On that day, I realized I was never truly a beggar. I was a businessman all along, I just had to believe it. They shook hands once more, but this time as equals. Then they boarded their trains, each heading toward a future shaped by their thoughts. Life becomes exactly what we believe it can be. If you see yourself as small, you will remain small. But if you see yourself as capable, strong, and full of potential, you open the door to greatness. Your thoughts shape your reality. Change them, and your future will change with them. If you enjoyed this story, give it a thumbs up, share your thoughts in the comments, and pass it on to inspire someone who needs this message. See you in the next story.